What's the secret that drives high-performance blue bus teams? It's a question we get asked all the time. Even the world's smartest companies keep looking for the answer. It's turned out to be more elusive than you might imagine. Take Google. The name itself is synonymous with search and being able to quickly find an answer to just about any question. But even Google, the company that knows almost everything, found itself asking the same question. What makes our best teams the best of the best? But could it be that Google, the trillion-dollar company, has blind spots just like the rest of us? So Google did what Google does best and deployed Aristotle. No, not the dead Greek guy. They launched a massive internal search called Project Aristotle. Their aim was to discover the algorithm driving their highest performing teams. The project cost Google over $20 million, and the search team included their best data scientists and behavioral experts. Let's retrace Google's search and see what they discovered along the way. And you might be surprised at the answer this particular Google search delivered. It was a blind spot for Google, and chances are it's a blind spot inside your organization as well. The goal of Project Aristotle was to answer one simple question: what makes a team effective at Google? The research looked at 180 teams inside Google, with a mix of high and low-performing teams. Researchers wanted to discover what factors made the difference between highly effective teams and lower-performing ones. They looked at a wide range of factors surrounding the individuals who made up the teams. They also observed how teams went about their work. They analyzed employees' qualifications and work histories, ran surveys, and conducted hundreds of interviews. It was highly structured, big data research. Before we jump to the answer, let's see if you can read the play. If you had to answer the question, what makes a high-performing team? What do you think it would be? Take a second to lock in an answer. What do you think made an effective team at Google? You might pause this video for a moment if you need time to think. Have you got your answer? Okay, let's move on and see what Google discovered. Let's start by talking about a whole bunch of things that did not make the difference. It wasn't team size, or diversity, or where people went to university. It wasn't everyone working in the same location, or the performance of individual team members, and it definitely was not about personalities. It wasn't a whole bunch of things we might have imagined. That's not saying that people having qualifications and experience isn't important. It's just that these things aren't what makes the difference between a low-performing team and a highly effective one. What Google discovered about what makes effective teams isn't something that you can find on people's CVs or on the organization chart. And it's not something you'll find in a policy or in a project management manual. What Google discovered was that what really mattered was less about who was on the team and more about how the team worked together. And what was the number one thing about how the team worked together? It was the level of psychological safety in the team. Let's slow down to speed up and reflect on that finding. Google discovered that psychological safety is the number one factor that drives team performance. And what do we mean by psychological safety? It's when everyone in the team feels they can speak up, share their ideas, ask dumb questions, and disagree when they need to, without the fear of being embarrassed or punished. Psychological safety isn't about everyone agreeing with each other or being ultra nice. It's about feeling like you belong, and it's socially safe to have a go, even when having a go might see you rubbing against the grain. Whether or not we feel psychologically safe is based on our perception of what's socially accepted and our expectations of how others will treat us. Psychological safety is a feeling. So, we've retraced Google's search for what makes a high-performing blue bus team. And what we discovered is that the most important thing is psychological safety. High-performing blue bus teams are those where people feel they belong, and it's safe to speak up and have a go, even if that means going against the grain from time to time. There's much more we will unpack about psychological safety. But for the moment, you might want to reflect on psychological safety inside your team. Do people feel like they are seen and heard? Are people keen to learn and open to new ideas? Do people take ownership of their work and hold themselves accountable for outcomes? And do people speak up when someone really needs to? If the answer to any of these questions is no, you might have something to think about. When it comes to psychological safety in your team, which bus are you driving?